You're live. George, you want to take it away?
Okay, so this is Cullet's final day. We're here at the Toronto Don Valley College Suites, if you want to get a...
I got it, yeah.
And they helped us out last night with 2 rooms and the greatest reception we've had thus far. And Cullet was very inspired by that, to see that. Very humble as well. And so today he's doing his final 10 kilometers. It's 13, sorry, 13. And it's 0 degrees right now, or -3 right now. It should get up to 0 degrees. And he doesn't care if he's got gloves on. And he's going to start walking along Eglinton. He's going west to Mount Pleasant, straight down Mount Pleasant, all the way down to as far as it goes, and then to Queen's Park at 11:45 a.m., where he's going to arrive at the south end of Queen's Park at the McDonald statue with the Torch of Life, and that'll be his final step today. So we'll give you a couple of more programs along the way before that final moment when he arrives with the torch. So until then, stay tuned and make sure that you're tuned in at 11:45 a.m.
Bye.
I'm going with
Okay.
him. We'll see
I'm just going to follow you a bit.
Take your time. Take your time.
Well, that's it. They're off and running. I will not keep this feed live right now. I'm going to go get ready for the next one. So I will see you then. Tune in at 11:45 when we arrive at Queen's Park. Thank you. Good morning, folks. If you're just joining me now, I apologize for being late, but I had a few technical difficulties. But it's just in time, because here comes George and Khaled now walking down Eglinton. We're going to be going from Eglinton all the way to Mount Pleasant, and then down Mount Pleasant. Wind is kind of blowing out here. That's it. I'll blame the camera's movements on the wind blowing. But it really is.
Going down Mount Pleasant and then going down Davisville.
Okay.
To Yonge.
All right.
Making a right on Davisville. So Yonge, it's hard to park.
Yeah.
So why don't you just make your way down to college and university?
Find a spot.
Find a spot, but phone me when you find a spot, because if you're having trouble, We're going to end up at the Toronto General Hospital on the university side.
University side, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to end up there.
I'll try and find something around there.
Try and find something even up the street a bit,
Yeah.
just anywhere walking distance.
Okay.
But I got to make sure I get the camera if you're having difficulty, so
Okay.
I'll contact you.
All right, guy.
Okay. Okay.
All right. Well, there you go, folks. You heard what he said. If I forget, I hope one of you will call or text me to remind me. That's it for now. We will be back, and I believe it's at 10:45. I'm not exactly sure, but if you're on the website, it probably tells you. Okay, bye for now.
Keep in touch.
I will. Nothing, buddy. Sorry.
Under basically get it was just that for free here.
Thank you, sir.
Give me some double milk, medium, and a multi-grain bagel
I
with
don't know if you can see this.
I got it.
multi-grain bagel with cheese.
Cream cheese. All right.
listen, please.
Come what?
Come true. This guy is a pain in the ass, but I love him.
We're all pains in your ass, Jordan. You know it. You got cream cheese on your mouth. The other corner. Here. Well, good.
How come that's X? What?
Oh, that's the facial recognition code.
Okay. Watch this. I'm gonna get the torch ready outside, so all he has to do is carry it.
This guy drives me crazy.
He drives everybody crazy. That's why we drive him crazy. We love George, but we can't stand him sometimes.
Yeah.
Why what? Why am I doing this?
I love Canada.
You are a Canadian. You drink Tim Hortons coffee and you play hockey. That's your citizenship. You pass your citizenship test. Like the guy in the movie, I am citizen now.
Oh yeah, like, I'm citizen
Two
too.
time.
That's Billy.
Billy? We'll be coming up at exactly 11:45 at that statue. Who? City Pulse? Oh, okay. Okay, can you tell them that you're a member of Step by Step and let them know that Poland will be arriving at exactly 11:45? No, tell him that he's coming from the Toronto hospital, so he's coming up
11:30.
that island. All right, Billy? Okay, thanks. I'll see you soon. Bye. Keep an eye on the tour.
All right.
You can't film inside.
Oh, I know that. So we can film up to it.
In, I'll ask you to hold.
Okay.
Take this. You have to wait here. Merle,
Yes, sir.
you're going to make your way ahead of me.
Okay.
And whatever media you see there, just let them know that which direction he's coming in, so
Coming
that
up University to the McDonald statue.
yeah, but he's coming up that island in the middle.
Okay, not around the side. Okay.
No, so he's coming right up that island, right to that statue.
All
I'll
right.
show you.
Right up the middle. Right up the middle. Yep. Right up the middle to the statue where the bus, yeah.
You see it right in the
I do.
That's where he's going to arrive.
Get
That's
him.
the finish line.
Not now, I mean.
So, Merle,
Yes, sir. You want me to go up there now?
yeah, go there now.
All right.
Just get everybody ready.
Okay, sir.
Thanks.
Yeah. Come on. Steady, you bastard. Steady. Khaled. Khaled Khatib. Khaled with a D, as in deer, not beer. Khaled, yeah. Khaled.
It was that plea that urged 21-year-old Khaled Khatib to walk close to 500 kilometers from Ottawa to Toronto in order to raise awareness of the need for organ donors in Canada to find Anthony's hero, a transplant donor. And after 18 days of walking in the freezing cold, the journey has finally come to an end here at Peace Park. Okay, so here's your...
Good morning, folks. We're streaming live to torchoflife.com. Thank you for joining us. Colette and George are expected to be here momentarily at the statue of Sir John A. Macdonald in front of Queen's Park. It's not a cold day for Colette's last walk, but it could be a dangerous one for anybody on that street. After 18 days, Khaled Khatib is going to arrive here at Queen's Park, take his final steps in front of the statue of Sir John A. Macdonald. Almost 500 kilometers from Parliament Hill to Queen's Park ends today in about 3 minutes. I want to thank you for joining us, those of you who did. Again, I apologize for the technical difficulties we've been having during this journey, but at the end of the day, Khaled has reached his goal, and we hope that we will find Anthony's hero. And I see Khaled and George arriving right now. They're at the corner of Queen's Park Circle and College Avenue. I can see the flame to the torch of life clearly through those bushes. He's right here now. Yeah. The gentleman is arriving right now, sir. There's George, there's Khaled. Sorry, walking on ice. I apologize once again for the shaky camera of images. Hey, Robert, how are you, sir? Oops, sorry. Good day, sir.
Nice day.
It is a nice day. We're actually live right now on torchoflife.com, and I can see George and Khaled there at the corner. I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I see the torch of life through those bushes, so I'm expecting they're coming this way momentarily. I'm just gonna go and try. No, you see the bushes right in the middle there? You see there's George, there's the flame. Hope they don't start a grass fire.
Keep them pretty warm.
That's it. Okay, I'm gonna get over there to get a better shot. Thank you. Yeah. That's Darren there, the Zoomer guy. He's wondering if you guys are gonna stay here till noon.
He's the only guy there, right?
Right now, yeah, he's the only one I've seen.
Okay.
Stay there, Colette. Hang on. From Zoomer, remember we went to the Dale Goldhawk show? That guy's there, Darren. Anthony's father is there, and those are the only ones I've seen now. But George said Billy's coming with your dad, so they are probably up by Queen's Park itself right now. Yeah, is that your dad? That's there. That's your dad? All right.
Now
He's coming this way, yeah?
See, George is no, you can see like this.
Live.
We are at there. What is Frank? Frank is there?
I didn't see Frank, no.
Okay. Come on, George. Tell me, come on. He forget. He forget I am here.
Yeah, I need to get a good shot of you with my camera too. So.
Come on, George.
Okay. Mile free.
Ta-da!
Alright. And more this way. Hey!
You are a professional cameraman.
Yeah, and
the cup in your mouth and you are in front of the camera.
2 cameras, one the
You
video.
hold the phone. And the webcast is in your back.
That's right. Well, folks, there you go. Khaled Khatib is in downtown Toronto, Queen's Park Circle, and College Avenue, ready to take the final steps.
How do you feel when you walk from Ottawa to Toronto at the finish line from Queenspark?
Yeah. You feel good, though? You feel good today?
Oh, I'm very happy.
Yeah? You can't wait to get over there to see your dad, eh?
No, I want to finish.
You just want to finish?
I just want to finish.
I know.
I can see my dad later.
Yeah.
I go home.
Have a shower, have a bath.
Oh my god. Come on, George. Tell me come, man. Just one word. Tell me. Just come.
So there you have it, folks. The end of a 500-kilometer walk from Parliament Hill to Queen's Park. Khaled Khatib, what are you going to do next?
Oh, I want to go back home.
Yeah, going to take a bit of a vacation back home, go see the family.
To Palestine.
Yeah.
Just now I want to see school
Yeah.
to learn English language.
So the ESL program?
Yeah, it's
English as a second language. You've learned pretty much on your own, and you speak
Yeah, just
fairly well.
learn more.
You want to learn more, of course,
Yeah.
understand. An amazing young man as far as I'm concerned. Very beautiful.
There is very.
I know.
This guy is doing.
Like the guy in, was it Belleville? Hey, what are you doing? He had to burn the building down. All right. Go, go, go. Yeah, I got it. Here we go, folks.
Oh, you see, that's my father is there,
Yeah.
and his father there,
Yeah,
and the newspaper is there,
yeah.
and of course George.
Of course.
Of course. There is that guy is killing me. That guy, do you remember him?
Darren? Yeah.
He put the newspaper.
Yeah, that's Darren.
Father first, and then hey, finally made it. Ice field's coming. Colin, hey, get in the middle with the father and the father.
All right. Let's get some hugs. Congratulations. Give your dad a hug.
You were there at the beginning, Darren.
Yeah, buddy.
Okay, so can you join us inside? Darren?
Huh?
Can you join us inside?
I want to get some quick interviews right here.
Okay, gotta make it quick because our conference starts soon.
Okay.
How long do you need?
5 minutes.
Okay.
5, 10 minutes.
Okay.
You're just get cutaway shots, and I'll interview these guys.
What I'm gonna do is get everything set up. Do you need me, Darren?
Yeah. Want me to do you first, George?
Yeah, please, because
Okay.
I gotta get things set up inside.
Sure, George.
Thank you.
They made us move the truck at the last
I
minute
know.
there.
Yeah, I know.
What a pain in the ass, eh?
And I was thinking when I got here, damn, why didn't I think of that?
Security guard.
You know, the biggest pain in doing these things is adjusting to all the different bylaws and different communities and all the.
See his face when I said, I don't see the sign where it says no parking.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. When you came up, that was awesome.
I just said, what? You don't have a sense of humor? What's that?
Well, you know, that's your.
I can't have a
Clear.
sense of humor. I work for the government.
Yeah.
We should know you're not allowed to park here. I should know. Eh?
Yeah.
I mean, we should all be lawyers. So we wouldn't have this problem. You're best off to come inside. You're gonna freeze out here.
Do you want to do it inside?
Check 1, 2, check 1, 2, check 1, 2.
Your car is good here.
Now we're gonna do it out here. It just
Okay.
gives more of the feel, the current feel that
Okay,
everybody
yeah,
just
yeah,
got
yeah.
here. There's some excitement. There's something happening, you know.
You're the guy going.
Check 1, 2, check 1, 2. All right,
Eric.
George. So, Ian. This shit over here. Where's the stand over on that side? Shot with George. George right here. And you have the script there with you, Ian?
Yeah. You want me to hand?
George, tell me a bit about what this undertaking, what you
That's
guys got involved.
Anthony's
Okay,
father,
well,
Robert Sanchez,
early
standing over there
October,
beside George.
2012, I was approached by Anthony's father about his son's plight. 28-year-old Anthony Sanchez. He needed a kidney transplant, and he was pretty sick. He was doing dialysis 7 days a week, and I've seen these things too many times in the past, and I know it was a very desperate situation. So we agreed to help, and I approached Khalid Khatib with the story about Anthony. And right away, Khalid Khatib said, I'll donate one of my kidneys. And of course he can't because he's a visitor. But instead, what he said was, I'll walk in the dead of winter for him from Ottawa to Toronto to help find him a kidney. And on February 5th, that's exactly what he did. He started off with Parliament Hill. And, you know, we went through quite a bit of...
There's Khaled Khatib with his father Ishmael, and with Anthony's father, Mr. Robert Sochi.
Inspiring, amazing, and every step of the way was for Anthony. He kept praying for Anthony every day. He says, I'm doing this for Anthony, my friend Anthony. He's got to get a kidney, and I want everybody to know to help, and I'm going to keep praying for him. And he finally made it to the final step here, and what we're hoping is that as a result of this heroic campaign that he just did, that Anthony will receive his gift very soon, very, very soon, because he's getting sicker and sicker, and he doesn't have the luxury of time to wait. So we got to make this happen quick, and we hope that it will happen quick.
And so tell me a bit about the trouble that I understand he got quite sick during the walk.
On day 5 of his walk, as we were approaching Brockville, he collapsed on the highway, and I had to bring him to the hospital. He was diagnosed with pneumonia. He was actually walking 5 days with pneumonia, and I told him you can't walk anymore, and he got upset with me because he thought he was letting his friend Anthony down. We had gotten a replacement walker at the time, and myself, I helped out. 5 days later, after getting diagnosed again at Kingston Hospital, the antibiotics he was taking cleared the pneumonia, and they said he's good to go back out on the road. And that was his happiest moment, because once I gave the okay to go back out on the road, and he hasn't stopped since Kingston, walking for his friend Anthony.
And I understand this is also about a larger picture too, about raising awareness in Canada for organ donors.
Yeah, we're doing this because we know someone in particular, and his name is Anthony. Understand that there's over 4,000 other Anthonys that are waiting, and they need everybody's help. And what we're going to do inside Queen's Park is we're going to unveil a proposal called the Lifesavers Act, which will address our shortage. And I've been at this for a long time now. This is going to be the answer. So tune in for what we're calling the Lifesavers Act. It will address our shortage and help those 4,000 people that are waiting. Actually,
Really? Okay.
we got video there. Can you help? I gotta go inside.
Okay.
Girl, help with the translation.
We'll help with the translation with.
If I can, whatever I can, I
I
don't know.
should just ask you straight up.
Like that question like before, right?
Huh?
Like what you asked me before. Right?
Yeah, basically.
He said, this guy from the paper, he kills me. Radio.
How do you feel?
Oh, I think right now. I'm just finished from Danville and Clinton to Queen's Park right now. And
How's it feel to finally finish the journey 500 kilometers?
Oh, you can't imagine how I feel. Just I walk at the freezing cold, and it's lots of problem I have now. Not a problem, like I get sick at the road, lung infection, something like that. And just I feel now, okay. Well, that's it. That's what I have.
How's your English? A little bit too? Are you happy? Are you happy with how you did the walk and that you're finally finished and
Yes, I am happy. Just I hope I can walk another time. Just not the winter, in the summer. To maybe to another people who need organs and to try to make them. That I will do all my best.
I'm sure Anthony's very appreciative of what you did for him. You did an amazing job. You almost, you ended up in the hospital while you were doing the walk. Everyone's very proud of you. Congratulations.
And I will do everything, all my best for Anthony. He's look like my brother.
Was it tougher than you imagined doing this walk?
Was it hard? Was it very hard?
Yeah, it's hard.
How about from Perth to Smith Falls in a snowstorm?
God, that's a crazy day. Snow, and my...
He had icicles hanging from his eyebrows.
Yeah, it's hard. Just, I keep walking. I keep, to give my message for everybody there, for when I walk.
Very good. Thank you, Khaled. Okay. How do you feel about your son?
شو شعورك يعني طبعا انا كثير سعيد انه ابني بيعمل هذا الشيء لانقاذ حياة شخص بيعاني من المرض وبتامل انه قدر يحقق هذا الانجاز انه يكون متبرع لهذا المرض.
Okay. Now if we can get somebody to translate for me, I can use that.
Do you know what he said?
Yeah.
What did he say?
He's so happy to what I'm doing, to carry his message around Canada, to save people lives. There is more message.
That's very good. Thank you. Okay. I think that's pretty good. We just got to talk to you, sir.
It's not.
We're just going to wait for Robert, and then we're going inside for the.
Robert, how do you feel about what's happened here with the whole walk that's gone from Ottawa to here in Queen's Park?
I think it's incredible that a young man like this would be friends with my son and really trying to help him and make things happen. Not only for him, but for everybody that's waiting for an order.
And how is Anthony doing?
He's actually very sick right now. He can't really leave. He hadn't changed his dialysis. He had to cut back a day because of he was getting very, very sick. Apparently dialysis doing that is very strong and very hard on his body, so he had to cut back. Currently he's been sick every night. He hasn't been able to eat or do much. And we really need to find this organ for him as soon as possible so he can stop suffering. Not a day goes by that he isn't sick. So this is what we're waiting and hoping for. So please, if you're out there, call or go to the website and put your information in, and we can see if we can help. He is here. Thank you.
Thank you, Rob.
Thank you very much.
No problem. Okay, thank you.
There you have it, folks, and we're going to head into Queen's Park and
Right?
have a press conference.
Thank you.
Conference. So I won't be able to videotape while we're inside Queen's Park. So I'm going to say goodbye to you now from the end of Khaled Khatib's 500-kilometer walk from Parliament Hill to Queen's Park.
What's up?
Thank you for joining us.
Sorry, what's that?
Are you gonna come in or are you gonna roll?
I'm gonna roll.
Okay.
Yeah, I got all my interviews here, so I'm gonna head back. We want to get her on the air as soon as possible.
Great. Thanks.
Okay, thank you, Rob.
All right, Darren.
All right,
Ian,
thanks,
who
Merle.
was it?
Thanks,
Was it Ian?
buddy.
All right, man.
Thanks, guys.
Let's go.
Yeah, thank you.
زحلقة بالغطاء لا ابو يزيد زحلق ابو يزيد ابو يزيد
Okay, let's go color. Merle, this is my
Do you need 4 chairs, George, or?
No, actually three.
Okay, I'm gonna remove.
Unless Robert wants to come here.
You want me to come?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Take your time, Robert. Take your time. You might wanna, there's a hanger in that for your jacket.
Thank you.
How you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. How are you enjoying Canada? Still good? You saying A after?
Yeah, there is it.
Hey, like, you have a new speech?
Yes, no, it's
Is
all
it a new one?
That's new, of course.
Pizza out or still in?
Which one?
Pizza.
No.
That was actually Boston Pizza,
Oh, yeah.
That wasn't me. And Marriott Hotel, of course.
Marriott Hotel.
Oh, of course. You have to bring your dad.
You're on your best with that.
So another minute, George?
Yeah,
You're gonna
as soon
turn
as
her
you're
off
ready,
then?
just give me the signal.
Oh, okay.
Thanks. Good afternoon to Anthony's Hero. We're at the conclusion of Colet's walk from Ottawa to Toronto. And today I'm going to introduce you to the guests that are sitting here. But I first want to thank MPP Rob Milligan for sponsoring the room for us. And also we lost 2 members of Step by Step this year. One of them was Chaplain Bruce Smith, and the other was Fox Moran from Alberta. These were 2 very important members. They did a lot of work over the years with organ and tissue transplants, and we miss them dearly. So today we're going to talk about the walk, the Anthony Heroes Walk, but we're also going to talk about the Lifesavers Act. It's our proposal to address the organ shortage with some very bold action. And we'll get into all the details of it, and I'll be very open for questions. We actually, we're lucky that Mr. Claremont Humphrey is here because he is the face of the Lifesaver, and he'll get into his story. But first, I want to acknowledge the presence of Mr. Ishmael Khatib, who came all the way from Palestine to see his son at the finish line today. And he's over here in the audience, so thank you for coming. And now, without any further ado, we're going to start off with Khalid, and he's going to share you his story. Go ahead, Khalid.
Hi, good afternoon. I am happy to be back at Queen's Park and of the highway. I am continue to bring the message of my father and to keep my brother Ahmed memory alive. When I walked from Ottawa to Toronto, many people ask me why I'm doing this, why I'm doing this, and why in the winter. I say I'm doing this, I'm doing for my friend Anthony to find him a kidney transplant. I pray that he receive one soon. I pray for over 4,000 other Canadians that need organs. Please pray for me to make my prayers come true. I love Canada, eh?
Well done. And you got to remember, when he first came here a year ago, he didn't know 1 word of English. You know. Thank you, Cody. And now we're also we have Anthony's father, Robert Sachi. Anthony was too sick to be here today. His condition is getting worse. So we have his father here, Robert, to say a few words.
Well, Anthony's not in great shapes. The last week or so, he's been up every night throwing up, and he's not well at all. He's been very sick. He's asking me when is someone stepping forward. He's praying and talking about it every day with me. It's really hard to listen to him and know that he's in the pain that he's in. He basically simply asks, please think of me. I can't wait much longer. So if you're out there, if you think you want to do something different, you want to make a change in someone's life, if you want to feel better that you help somebody in your life, then I strongly suggest you go to the webpage and sign up, or call George Marcello. His number is there, available anytime. Call and ask yourself, do I want to be Anthony's hero? And if you are the one, you'll be a happy person, and you'll make a lot of other people happy along the way. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.
Thank you, Robert. I also want to acknowledge Mrs. Beth Osborne, who just became the chairperson for Step by Step. Congratulations, and I heard it was a good meeting. Thank you. And she's also the general manager for the Marriott Hotel, the entertainment district. Now I'm going to introduce to the right of me Mr. Claremont Humphrey, and it was actually his story that really inspired me to create the Lifesavers program, and I believe that he will be the face of the Lifesavers program. I can't think of any other person that has gone through it and that could model the Lifesavers better than what he's gone through, because I seen him before he decided to do this, and I seen him during the time he went through the surgery and afterwards. And so, Monty, go ahead, share your story.
My name is Clement Humphrey. And 4 years ago, I decided to give a piece of my liver to a 14-month-old baby girl at the time. And today she's looking really healthy. She's very beautiful. Making a choice like this is pretty much, it has to be something that you've been called to do. It can't be something that you've been pushed to do, or somebody's urging you to do, or you feel guilty about it. It's just something that you're called to do, because going through any surgery is not an easy thing, and sometimes, you know, the after effects, you may question why I did it, but I did it because I felt I was called to do so. I look at the young life and I realize that I can. And we got a great team of doctors that helped out Toronto General Hospital. The whole team was fabulous, and the service that I got was great. I couldn't ask for anything better, and so far as I know, we got a good thing going down there. And if anybody can step forward for Anthony, it would be a great thing to do. You'll feel better at the end of it.
Thank you, Monty. Okay, so now I'm going to talk about the Lifesavers Act. The first thing is, it consists of 3 parts. The Torch of Life Alert, which resembles the Amber Alert, and we actually presented it at Queen's Park about 1.5 years ago, and we had members from all 3 parties come out to support this policy, or this idea. And shortly afterwards, somebody actually did what we were asking what this policy would do, and that was Elaine Campbell. She actually was an Amber Alert. And that's exactly what we were saying in this Torch of Life Alert. Now, we're calling it Torch of Life Alert at this point, but if at some point in time it does become law and an added policy, then I think we'll probably name it after the first child that we put the alert for. That's been the ongoing suggestion. So basically what that entails is that instead of a missing child, where you put an alert, you put media, billboards and all that, we focus mostly on the children that are waiting for organ transplant. And we work with the hospitals. It would not only be our charity Step by Step, but we would be joining other groups and associations to join us in this endeavor to help bring the message, just like Elaine Campbell did, and we did many times before, about a child that's in need of an organ transplant, and then that child would become the face at that point in time. And you could see the response that Elaine Campbell garnered. So we're very sure that this will have a positive effect on people registering and people that want to become live donors, because if that child happens to need a liver or a kidney, and I bet you most of you didn't know this, a lung. There's actually 2 people can donate a piece of their lung to become live lung donors. And so we got livers, kidneys, and lungs with children and adults that could be saved through live donations. So that's number 1. Number 2 is something that we call community challenges. We tried this in our last campaign when Khalid carried the torch through 72 cities and towns, and he was actually carrying the torch for Elaine Campbell, if everybody remembers. We were asking each community to take a challenge, to see if they can outdo the other community. At present, there's a small community just outside of Sudbury that leads the rate of donation per population, so that's by percentage. They're up to about 50% of their population has registered. But then we have communities and cities such as Toronto, Vaughan, Mississauga that are less than 15%. As a matter of fact, last time I heard about Woodbridge, they were at 9%. So what this community challenge would entail is to get communities involved to register as many people as they can in their community, and let's have a healthy competition. We can start this off in Ontario and work right across the country, so that we would not only be citing Ontario statistics of who's leading the rate of donations, but right across the country. So that's the second part, and we know that can become successful because we got proof from our last campaign how many people took an active part in that. Now, those two policies are pretty straightforward and non-controversial. Now, the third one is going to sound a little controversial. What we're saying in the third policy, and this is what I found out, and being at this for 20 years, being in this room at least over 100 times, fighting for policy changes, for laws to bring awareness, going crisscrossing across the country 9 times, going through hundreds of communities, I came to the conclusion that we will never address our organs shortage with the present status. The rate of cadaveric organs could only go so far. I know we should be happy that there was an 11% increase last year, which they say was record-breaking. But if you look at in reality, that is only a small gain. Alone in this 18 days that we were out on the road, I got 12 calls from people that had children and adults, the same situation as Anthony. 12 people alone in 18 days. So how did that 11% help those 12 people? You know, now let's look at our last 20 years. Really, how far did the meter go in increases? You know, I'm making this argument, or this case, I don't want to say argument, I'm making this case because I've seen it too many times live where people did pass away and weren't lucky. You know, I had way too many misfortune with all this than fortune. And if anybody thinks that we're going to solve the organ shortage with the present status, they're living in fantasy land. Now, I came to the conclusion that the only way we can realistically address this is by focusing on the live donor, specifically the stranger donor. Because live donations usually happen within the family. The doctors let the family know that there could be somebody in the family that could match, and you know, and if there is somebody, then they go ahead with the process. But in many cases, nobody can match in the family, or there isn't people stepping up in the family. Then that person is dependent on 2 things: the waiting for a cadaveric organ, and chances are that they're not going to receive that cadaver organ. They won't be alive by the time it would arrive. And the second is to hopefully hope that a stranger donor will step up and save their life. Now, last year, in all of Canada, there was only 12 stranger donors. We can expand that to 100, maybe 1,000. But we got to be bold in this. We got to create a program that we're not going to be looking for live donors. There's something that live donors can respond to. And we have to make it, easy for these people to respond to, because in my 20 years, I've met many people when I told them of different plights of different people that needed organ donations. They said, I'll give them my kidney if I can, or I'll give them, even some said I'll give them my heart if it was possible. There is good people in Canada that will step up to the plate to do this. We have, in a country with 36 million, we have wonderful Canadians, and we could model this program similar to what we have already. Our police officers, our firefighters, our soldiers, we're calling this a service, not the buying of organs. This is a service that Canadians would gladly step up to the plate to do this. From my experience, most of these people come from middle-class families or lower-class families, and they don't have the income to afford to feed their families if they decided to do this. We should make a program available to expand what already exists. We already have comprehensive, or not comprehensive, compensation for the stranger live donor. I fought hard for that about 5 years ago to get that. And so there's already a $5,000 amount to pay for hotels and other expenses should somebody want to become a stranger donor. Now I say that that's good, but that's not enough. My suggestion is to build a program, whether it's 6 months or a year, and make it so that the person stepping up to do this is going to be able to feed their families, be able to afford living, and after they do their major role, which is to donate one of their organs, they can go on and continue to bringing the message of organ donations in their community or throughout the country. And what better people than somebody that has done this. Now, people will not slip through the cracks that aren't genuine about this. Claremont will tell you himself, the psychological and physical testing is very rigid here, very strict, and it should be. And because they want to ensure that the person that is going to become this live stranger donor is doing it for the right reasons. So we already have that in place, and so all we're saying is we need more of that. So if we're going to do this, we have to look at the costs, and because right now, if you go to any of the live donor hospitals or clinics, the one at Toronto General, they don't have enough resources to mandate the number of people that are stepping forward, and it's a slow process. Now, that is where all the funds should be going to. That's where the resources should be going to, is the live donor program. We should be able to raise millions of dollars for these clinics right across Canada, and that's where our focus, I believe, is going to be, to raise funds for the live donor programs so that they can do more of what they're already doing successfully, and create this program so that we can finally address the organ shortage. And I got one more thing to add why this would work. Every time a stranger donor steps up to the plate to do this, it has what we call, or what everybody calls, a daisy chain effect. By having somebody doing this, they affect in a very inspiring way the rest of the population, and more donations happen as a result of that. And that's been proven in many cases, not only here in Canada, but everywhere around the world where live donations are done by strangers. So what is the price tag to save 100 people? We estimated about $30 million. Are we asking the government to put this in? No. No. We're going to go and get the private sector to finally get into the organ donation arena. Just like the other big diseases, the cancers, we feel that we can get private corporate Canada to help out with this. And it would be in their best interest to help out with this. So the $30 million, we're not asking one penny from the government. We would say that step by step, along with other groups that are willing to join us in this, will help raise that money. We would sit down with all the clinics and figure out exactly what it would take to save 100 extra people and then eventually 1,000 extra people. And that would make the waiting list go faster. So that person that's waiting 900 or something for a heart, they move up the line quicker once we remove most of the people from the waiting list through live donations. So I figure if this was in place tomorrow, we would literally address this shortage in just a few years. It sounds controversial, but that's what we're here today to talk about it and hopefully get this debate going across the country. So sorry, I was a little long-winded. Ready for questions.
Well, I guess that'd be me. I know you mentioned that Elaine Campbell, when she was in dire need for her double lung transplant, she spoke out and the media really latched onto that. But do you not have a concern that, if we've got, I think you mentioned the sort of like, particularly using children who are in desperate need of an organ transplant, make them a focus, put them in the media, billboards, all that sort of stuff. But after we do that several times in a row for each new child that needs it, I know the need is still as great, but is there not going to be some kind of donor fatigue that sets in after a while if this becomes, regular practice? This month's child, next month's child.
Thank you for the question. We actually had that same question posed when we first unveiled that a year and a half ago. And the answer to that is, do we have enough Amber Alerts when a missing child is missing? Of course not. And what is the difference between the family going through all that stress and all that when their child is missing and having the community and everybody get involved to help find that children? What is the difference between that and somebody that needs an organ at that time? I think the face of that child will recruit more, and even if it gets repetitive, like one face after another, and I wouldn't even use that word repetitive. These are real children, and each child has got a different story, So I believe that Canadians would not go through this fatigue, and if some did, I don't think that person would want to register anyways. So I think it would be a very small minority that would look at this as fatiguing this system.
You mentioned the huge disparity between that place near Sudbury where they've got almost 50% registered donors and some areas around the GTA. Do you have a sense of what are the factors holding people back? I mean, really, we've been talking about organ donation for many years now. People are familiar with the idea. Is it religious concerns, or are they, afraid that their organs will be taken before they're quite dead, or what are the concerns that are holding people back from registering, or what are you finding?
Well, let's look at where the problem is, and that's in the big cities. I don't want to just single out Vaughan, but Vaughan is the lowest on the graph. The reason why those other communities are so high is because the community gets actively involved. That includes the mayor, the councillors, and whatever members of parliament are in that area, and groups and organizations. So what we really need to do is to bring this to our city as well. We got to look at this at a municipality level, to make this a priority in the next mayor election, or while this mayor is here. I wouldn't wait for the next mayor election. But in saying that, I think the majority of our what we call the lifesavers would probably come from the more populated areas. So can we increase the numbers where they're short? Yes, but that community challenge that I talked about, I would really put it to our mayor in Toronto and the mayor of Vaughan and all the other cities and all the councillors, you know, what's up? Like, what are you guys doing about this? You know, there's got to be some sense of urgency for them to do something about this to increase those numbers. So, you know, that community challenge, I think, would be a great model to get everybody on a municipality level involved, and that would include different organizations, churches. You know, we can make this happen, and you know, it's going to take the participation of many more people that haven't participated.
If I can just jump in to answer your question, when I was about to do the donation, somebody asked me the question, can we do that? So it's a matter of educating our public. Even though it's in the news, it's overlooked because it's not connected to our families. It's not connected to somebody that we know. And you go into the hospitals, you'll find that you probably have 100 people that are on dialysis right now, for example. And you got about 3,000 outside that don't even know somebody's on dialysis. And it's a matter of educating the public of what they can and cannot do. Again, as I said, for me, it was like, I found out, I said, sure, let me do it. And then somebody said, can you do that? What's going to happen? I thought, you know, is it going to grow back? And there's so many questions. And it's just educating the public about if you can donate, if you do donate, what the steps are and what the effects are, what's happening afterwards, you know, the different things. And I guess once that becomes a public knowledge, it is easy for someone to say, yeah, I can do it.
Great. You mentioned $30 million. That's a lot of money. Do you have any ideas who you'd be asking first to participate in this?
Top companies in Canada, you know, just like they do with the other big diseases, AIDS, cancer, you know. And I think we can do it. I think it's time. I think, right, organ and tissue donation has become corporate friendly. When I did this at the beginning in the mid-90s, it wasn't. You know, it was morbid. Nobody wanted to talk about it. Maybe the similar thing that the AIDS had at the beginning. But I think we're at a point now where it's corporate friendly, and things have helped it along the way, including Elaine Campbell, to make it corporate friendly. So I think the road is ready for the private sector to step in.
And one more question. I'd probably like to speak with maybe Claremont and yourself outside, but in terms of the Lifesavers Act, what's the road ahead for the paperwork, and what are its chances of getting through?
Okay, good question. I've been lobbying different policies over the last number of years, so I kind of know my way around the federal and provincial governments. I have somebody who I believe is going to champion this provincially, and already got some fires in federally, and so I think once it gets announced by a provincial member, it legitimizes it more or less, that you know, there's a road ahead for it, and I think at that point as well it'll become a national debate, just like when we first initiated the opt-out system back in the early 2000s. That became a national debate. Peter Kormos, I think, was the very first MPP to announce it, but we worked with Peter. It was us that encouraged Peter to do this, and as a result of people talking about organ donations, that debate was going, the numbers spiked. So that alone, in talking that there's this urgency, and that we shouldn't be that comfortable in knowing that there was an 11% increase last year, and that, you know, we're still way fall short of the goal line, that there's still this urgency, and here's a bold way to do it. That'll spike the numbers, because that'll get people talking. And again, I know I'm going to hear this, just like I heard it in the opt-out system. Oh, now the government's going to own your body, you know, which never was even close to that. I know, and I've been hearing some of this, but most of it has been positive, that oh, now you're in the business of selling organs, you know, which is so far from that. But it's a good discussion to have, you know, and it'll get people talking, and they'll understand that there's this urgency to still address the situation. So I'm going to predict within the next couple of weeks that I'm going to be beside an MPP making an announcement about this again. Okay?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Thanks, Joe.
Did you have anything written, like a news release or anything like that, or
Yeah,
just the
I
one that
do.
was emailed in?
I got one handy, George.
Oh, okay. Now, I can give you the whole proposal as well.
Honestly, it would look good if I held it up,
Oh, okay.
but I won't have time to read it all.
Okay.
Well, George, you just
What do you got?
printed what you gave me yesterday. The news release.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't get into the details,
that-
but at least you have something.
Something, okay. So, we're at your service.
I think you're quite right, not many people know about the live donor.
Made a copy, yeah, if we can sit down
So
and,
maybe we can put a little
is
bit
it
of
new
that as
dates,
well.
March 7th or March 16th? And I want to nominate, so we can sit down and pull that off together. Yes. No, I saw that.
George?
But it breaks.
I'm the CEO, step by step.
I'm not all that familiar. He needs
Pretty good,
2 kidneys?
busy,
What is
work.
it? He needs 1 kidney.
In Charlotte.
Right, right, okay.
She has a
Pretty
disease.
busy with work, but, you know, touch base with, crews and spending time with Rob.
Yeah, actually, yes, I am. She is the, no, she's the grandniece of my ex-wife. This disease was so bad. What happened, my son is, this Facebook, and a friend of mine said, did you see something? His cousin, I think he was in high school, so I asked him, he told me, yeah, her sister was like, yeah, he said, well, she has a child, we just thought she did. She said, yeah, we went on a whole list of stuff, and then finally I saw her in, Toronto Jumps to work there as well. And I said, well, I'm not sure I was going away at the time, so I'm not coming back. Just doing the regular family thing.
If you went outside.
Let's go.
Excuse me.
I'll maybe I'll talk with Claremont first. Give George a break.
I mean, he would since Texas, we still was dialysis for dialysis.
So were you familiar at all with organ donation and potential for live donors and all that stuff before this came up?
Yes, I am. My knowledge, that's how I know how it was done and what could be done. That's why when it came to hard decision to make. The only hard decision was, am I ready to do this or not? And after seeing the child, it could have been my own. I mean, if somebody else could have done it for me, but I wanted to do so, so I said that.
What were your concerns?
Really, I didn't have any. People ask me, so what? Actually, I was sometimes told, you can die. I'm like, well, you can die just walking off the street. So I really had no concerns. As a matter of fact, for 1 month straight prior to the surgery, I lived on YouTube when I was supposed to actually be done every single day. I just take it from me. I was done and it was happening. And then I was pretty much comfortable.
And how long was your recovery?
They say anywhere between 6 to 8 weeks. I probably say for me, and everybody's different. It took about a year, year and a half to really feel myself. We have this setback, so it's nothing major to talk about. My life somebody your life back, but you're actually helping restore life, saving lives. I would like to see it as a small percentage, but I'm not 100% sure of the amount of it's free. Like, what's going to happen to me after I'm done? Like, families will do for families. Strangers doing for somebody else is like, what is that? And how much I'm going to suffer after. Psychologically getting over certain things, feelings, that kind of stuff. It's different. So I'm assuming that it will be a small.
Did they talk about the risks for you, like you're deliver a smaller amount?
We don't go back to compensate.
And how quickly is it?
I'm assuming anywhere between 3 to 6 months it starts to break the health.
So yours should be back to normal.
Yeah, mine is back to normal. You know, as I said, this compensation is one thing we're missing. So I'm pretty much
Good stuff.
Put George right here. Yeah, sure. If I can make that, that'd be great. She just wanted to get a chance to mention.
So I had a real desire to thank that person that I saved my life.
Is it a whole liver or
A whole liver, it was cadaver liver, and so in walking across Canada, it was a 12,000-mile walk. And so I talked to literally millions of Canadians along the way, shared my story. You know, and that's, I haven't looked back ever since. I knew there was a big problem. Many other campaigns and policy changes and all that kind of stuff.
And you mentioned that there's a limit to cadaver donations that we can, why is there a limit?
Well, if you look at the numbers, because I say do the math, if you look at the numbers of how many people that were potential donors, even if everybody registered, if we had the whole province, the whole country registered, there's only so many deaths and so many potential donors. There's actually a very small percentage of the population that will be potential donors after that. In that number, even if everybody said yes, you're still way short of addressing the shortage. So there's about a 30% void still, you know, and that's having a perfect system cadaver. So I say do the math. It's very simple. Just like Clinton said, do the math.
So if we're going to be looking at boosting the number of live donors, what are some of the challenges there?
Well, you know, we got to get first the debate going. You know, in stating my case, am I right? Like, are people going to say, you know, how right am I? Am I making the case that that's where our focus should be, the live stranger donor? Because that's where the number could increase. So from 12, we can literally make that number to 100 and possibly 1,000. But you can't make the cadaver organ number bigger. You know, I mean, we can't go around killing people. You know, do you know what I'm saying? There's a limit to the cadaver donation, but there is no limit to the live stranger. What we have to do is create a programs that people like Claremont can respond to, you know, and I know they will, because that's why we have police officers, we have firefighters, we have people that risk their lives, risk their bodies to service their country or their community. We have many people that are like that in Canada. So if we had a program available similar to these other programs, people would respond to that, and it would eventually become a norm. Hi, it's George Marcello calling from Anthony's Hero, the young man that's walking from Ottawa to Toronto. Good, thank you. So I just
Hi, my name is Anthony Sachi, and I suffer with a genetic disease called Fabry's. I've been suffering from it since I was a young child. It's been a lot of ongoing pain, and it's been tough to live life normally. Unfortunately, at this point in time, I do need a kidney transplant.
It was that plea that urged 21-year-old Khaled Khatib to walk close to 500 kilometers from Ottawa to Toronto in order to raise awareness of the need for organ donors in Canada and to find Anthony's hero, a transplant donor. And after 18 days of walking in the freezing cold, the journey has finally come to an end here at Queen's Park.
Hey, finally made it!
I will do everything, all my best for Anthony. He's looking like my brother, you know.
Not a day goes by that he isn't sick. So this is what we're waiting and hoping for. So please, if you're out there, call or go to the website and put your information in, and we can see if you can help him. Be his hero.
what we're hoping is that Anthony will receive his gift very soon. Very, very soon, because he's getting sicker and sicker, and he doesn't have the luxury of time to wait.
Organizers say they have a possible lead on a donor, but right now the search continues to find Anthony's hero. If you think you can help, please log on to their website at torchoflife.com. At Queen's Park, Darren Maharaj, Zoomer News.
Organ donations can come from living or deceased donors, but while it's difficult to boost the number of deceased donors, living donors who can provide kidneys, livers, and lung tissue are a group whose numbers can be greatly increased. When George Marcello got a liver transplant in 1995, he says organ donation was little talked about and little understood. But with increased medical awareness and figures like Elaine Campbell talking about organ donations, he says corporate Canada is ready to help by contributing to a $30 million program to support living organ donors. And he feels Canadians would willingly step forward as donors.
If there was a program available to respond to, they would respond. It's just they would need a bit of compensation, you know, to feed their families or to, you know, and that's what should be created.
Right now, the Ministry of Health offers up to $5,000 to organ donors for travel and hotel expenses.
We got to get over the fact that this is not a sale of their organs, but rather a admirable service to the country.
Marcello says it's no different than firefighters or soldiers who risk their bodies while serving their community. Last year, only 12 organ transplants in all of Canada came from stranger donations. There are currently 1,500 people in Ontario waiting for organs, mostly kidneys. And living donors, especially from non-family members, would go a long way towards reducing that list. Claremont Humphrey donated part of his liver to save a toddler 5 years ago. He has a big scar and some residual numbness, but he says his liver has completely grown back. He feels public education is key to increasing donor registration.
Even though it's in the news, it's overlooked because it's not connected to our families. It's not connected to somebody that we know.
Marcello hopes to introduce a bill at the legislature in the coming weeks. Other initiatives Step by Step is proposing include a kind of Amber Alert system in which children who are in desperate need of organs are put in the spotlight, and community challenges to boost the number of registered donors, especially in big cities where rates can be as low as 9%. With today's Lifetime, I'm Pauline Chan.
No matter how you do this, stretch it. I don't know how they do this.
Well, they have all the tools, right?
Yeah.
It's like, yeah. And it's not the first time they've done it. First time we've done it.
We're closed for a second.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Just so we don't
Yeah,
have to
no
go.
worries. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's looking.
Let's pull it and stretch. That was what we had to do at the beginning, but to stretch it as far as you can. But
Yeah,
then
yeah.
it's still, I don't know, it's still, there was still other
Oh
things
no, I mean,
popping up.
come on. When was the last time you did one of these? Never. So, for first try, I'm thinking, you've got the name where they can see it. You've got the